It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you, and welcome to the Science Bowl. Today, 2 elementary schools vying for the chance to move on in our competition. Play along with us and test your own science IQ. Let's meet today's teams. First, from Foote Elementary School, say hello to Kylie Arenko, Jeremiah Vaughn, and Lawrence Balunsat. And from Hillcrest Heights Elementary, here they are all dressed in green. Say hello to Adriana Escudero, Carmen Davis, and Rayvon Stone. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty, with the easier questions on the left. They're worth 5 and 10 points. The tougher ones are worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds today, one of these talented, good-looking teams will come back to play our game again and perhaps advance to the semifinals in this year's elementary competition. Let's make sure everything works properly before we start. Let's go to the red team, Foote. First time we have seen Foote in our 30 years on the air. We love having you here. Try your buzzer, Jeremiah. All right, looks good, sounds good. Good luck to you, Lawrence, and to Kylie. And Hillcrest Heights, Carmen, would you try your buzzer? It too looks and sounds just fine. Good luck to you, to Rayvon, and to Adriana. You know, you've already won just by being here. Your schools have chosen you as ambassadors. You are the best of the best. So just relax, have a good time. Let's have a good game. We go alphabetically, F before H, Foote. Jeremiah, let's play the bowl.
All right, I'll go for green things 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, every year at Halloween, the Peanuts character Charlie Brown sits around and hopes that he is visited by this giant gourd that he calls the Great what? Foote.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin, the Great Pumpkin, you betcha. Everybody should have been jumping on that one. Go red.
We'll do green things 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, pungency units and Scoville scales are used to measure the hotness and the sizzle of these vegetables that contain a chemical called capsaicin. What vegetables are they? Foote.
Peppers.
You got that right. Hot peppers. Everybody knows peppers. Listen to the clues in there. Sizzling, hot vegetables. What else could they be? Go red.
We'll do green things 15.
Green things for 15. Boy, you like that category. All right, teams. Some plants spend part of the year, because they live on a floodplain, underwater, where not much light reaches. But even there, underwater, there is enough light for what process to take place where plants make food. What is that food-making process, Carmen?
Photosynthesis.
Excellent. Perfect answer. Go. Green. Carmen.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points is a visual question. Everybody look at the monitor, please. This furry mammal that lives here in North America and is known as the mascot of the Michigan football team is perhaps better known as the superhero in a Marvel comic known as Logan with very long claws. Name it. Foote.
The Wolverine.
You got it. Good. Red. Good teamwork over here.
All right, we'll go for Zoo Parade 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams, Back in the 1940s, people in the state of Idaho were having troubles with one kind of animal, so they put them in cages strapped on parachutes and dropped these damn rodents places where they weren't causing so many problems. What are those damn rodents? Foote.
Beavers.
Beavers. Got it. Red. Go.
We'll do Zoo Parade 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, if it wasn't a wolf, if it had been a megalodon shark that dressed as the grandmother, when Little Red Riding Hood came in and looked at her, she would have really said, "My grandma, you have really big what?"
Teeth.
Foote.
Teeth.
Teeth, absolutely right. The shark, mega means big, dawn means tooth, mega tooth. Put them together, you got teeth. Red.
We'll do Zoo Parade 20.
Zoo Parade for 20 points is a multiple choice question. Listen carefully. Of all the kinds of deer in North America, elk are the most polygamous, meaning they have the most antlers, the most mates, or the most different habitats. All right, someone has to ring in. All right, Foote.
They have the most mates.
Yes, they do. They have many different mates. Polygamy. Good answer. Thank you, Kylie. Good assist there. Go Red.
Which one?
We'll finish it up. Zoo Parade 25.
Zoo Parade for 25, the big one in that category. Teams, listen carefully here. It's a two-part question. Pretend you're a veterinarian, a big animal veterinarian, and you've been called to a farm because there's an animal there that has bovine tuberculosis. I'll give you 25 points. One, if you can tell me what kind of animal you're going to treat and what organ in that animal is giving it problems. Bovine tuberculosis. What kind of animal, what organ might be having problems? You're on the farm. What you got? Bovine means cow. Tuberculosis, you got problems with your lungs. You can't breathe. You got a wheezing cow out there. Elsie's having problems. Go Red, no points. 115-65. Come on, guys. Jeremiah.
Green Things 20.
Green Things for 20 points. Teams, you all know what cactus look like. They got little spines on them. Yeah. Well, that keeps animals from eating it. But, you know, even though they are small, those spines cast a little bit of a shadow so that the plant doesn't lose a lot of water through what process? Doesn't lose a lot of water through what process? Foote.
Evaporation?
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to hear. Nicely done. Thank you, Lawrence. Evaporation. Go Red.
We'll do Green Things 20.
Say it again, please.
Green Things 25.
Green Things for 25. This will be the last question before we go to our first break, and it is a visual question. It's a toughie. Look at the monitor, please, both teams. And this is a greenhouse filled with lettuce. But that lettuce is not growing in soil. It's growing in water. And if you buy it in the Safeway, you get it in a little plastic container with a big root ball underneath. What kind of H-initialed lettuce do we call that because it grows in water? Tough question. Maybe you've never looked at the label. It's called hydroponic lettuce. Hydroponic. All right, no points. We go to our break. Our score, Foote 135, Hillcrest Heights 65. We'll be back with round two in a moment. Don't you go away.
I started mentoring my mentee, Dantre, 4 years ago. I always thought about doing it. It always seemed like a good idea.
We were both nervous when we first met, but everything kind of fell into place.
Mentoring is important to anyone that's pretty fortunate in life to have a little bit of time to pass on that knowledge.
Etienne's a very close friend. I look at him as a brother and a father figure. He taught me just focus on the big picture because I would like to give back just like Etienne gave back to me. Be someone who matters to someone who matters.
If you're like most families, you probably have video game fans in your home. But not every game is right for every kid, which is where the ESRB ratings come in. They help parents make informed decisions for their kids. And there's an easy-to-use mobile app that gives you detailed info on specific game ratings. Video game consoles have parental controls that you can set to block certain games by age rating, so they get all the fun, and you get peace of mind.
And welcome back to Science Bowl Elementary Schools here today. We're so happy to have them. I hope you're able to keep up with these young people. They're having fun. We hope you are too. Let's find out a little bit about them before we ask any more questions, scientific questions. Let's go to Foote. As I was saying earlier in the show, we've been on the air for 30 years, and we have never seen Foote Elementary on our show. So welcome, Foote. Nice to have you guys here today. You're making history. And Jeremiah, tell us where Foote is.
Foote is in Fort Washington, Maryland.
Yeah, you're not too far from the new casino that's being built down there at National Harbor.
MGM.
Yeah. And who's the principal down there, Jeremiah?
Our wonderful Dr. Goldsmith.
Yes, she is indeed, and I know she's with us today, and I know she was there just recently. We visited because your school was gifted with some smart boards from MGM Grand and from Whiting Turner. Tell me, you had alternates on your team, Jeremiah. What are their first names?
We have Jamira, we have Micah, and we have Kennedy.
Wonderful, and we'll bring them out with Dr. Goldsmith, as well as your sponsor, who is Miss Johnson, correct?
Yes.
Miss Erica Johnson, and she, we worked together. She came and she judged the show for us, and Erica, thank you for all your support, and we're really glad you're here today with your team. Tell me, of all the things that happened at Foote, if you had to pick one, what would you brag about, Jeremiah?
I would brag about that we like me and Kylie. Did you make it to the Honor Society?
The Honor Society? Yeah.
Yeah, me,
All three of us.
all three of us, we got picked for the Science Bowl, and we got into the Honor Society.
Wow, double dose of accolades there. That sounds pretty darn cool. Well, I think they chose really well. And you guys, you work together, you're excited, and you really are bringing a lot here to the game. Jeremiah, you preach, don't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you want to maybe be a preacher someday professionally. Mm-hmm. You got a good voice, you got good projection. I can see you doing that. What else do you do in your spare time?
I play basketball sometimes.
Yeah. Well, keep up your good work. You're a good captain. And Lawrence, I know you're into martial arts.
Yeah.
You can take care of yourself. And what belt level are you?
Black belt.
Black
First
belts?
degree.
First, okay, we're going to give him lots of wide berth here. We're not going to get him upset.
Don't mess with Lawrence.
What do you want to do someday?
Well, I want to be a doctor to make people feel better.
Yeah. And that's
I
the
want
whole
to be
point.
a surgeon.
Yeah, that can
to
make
help
people
them.
feel better too. Yeah, we need people to, because life is tough and there are a lot of medical issues, and you'd be a good one. Kylie, how do you know so much science? Because you do.
Well, I like reading, so sometimes I just read my science book in spare times, or I see it on TV.
Yeah, there's so much information out there. You know, you can get on the internet and never get off, you know, because there's so much stuff out there. What do you see yourself doing? I know we were talking about being a teacher, yeah?
Yes.
You want to be a reading teacher?
Yes.
Yeah, you seem to have that nice demeanor. I can see you doing that, being patient with young kids. And boy, you bring a lot to this game here today. Nice to have you. And Hillcrest Heights, we have not seen Hillcrest Heights very often in our 30 years, so we're really happy to have you guys with us as well. And you're wearing those special green shirts. And what's the mascot there, Carmen?
The eagle or a hawk.
Yeah, and I can see that bird, I think, on your shirts there. Do you get to keep those shirts?
Yes.
They're not just loners. That's good. Well, that's nice to have you here on our show. Carmen, tell us about Hillcrest Heights. Where is that?
It's located in Temple Hills.
Yeah, and it's not too far from Iverson Mall there and the Marlowe area. Tell me who your principal is.
Miss Brown.
Miss Brown. And the sponsor of your team?
Miss Rabar.
Miss Rabar. She's just terrific. She has been judging for us for years, and I know how hard she has worked to get you guys ready for today. Rowena, thank you, and congratulations on your passing of the national board, too. I know she's worked very hard at that. Any alternates? No, I think you're it, aren't you? You are it. We don't need any alternates. Throw away the rule book. Tell me about Hillcrest Heights. One of the best things there, Carmen. What do you like to brag about?
We have a STEM program that's called The Hub to help people with their science, and it also teaches and trains them with their homework.
Wow. Did you say hub like H-U-B? That's great. Yeah, and of course that is something that is really important today because America has got to stay up on the cutting edge when it comes to science, and you're helping do that by being here today. Someday, Carmen, what do you want to do?
I want to be a forensic scientist or a fashion designer.
Yeah, well, you're a very fashionable young lady. I can see you doing that. And we were talking earlier, and she's a CSI fan, as I am. And boy, that's all forensic science, isn't it, huh? Yeah, you're a good captain here. We'll get some more points in the second half, right? I know you're going to do that. Ray Vaughn, tell us why you wanted to be on the show.
I want to be on here to represent
my school.
Yeah, you're doing a nice job of that. You're a 5th grader, as all of you are, because Hillcrest Heights goes up to the 5th grade. And someday, what do you see yourself doing?
Being an artist.
An artist, yeah, because I know you like to paint and draw, and you do that in your spare time, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. And Adriana, nice to have you here, young lady who was born in New York City, yeah? And now you've been down here for a couple years. And tell me why you wanted to be here today.
I wanted to be here to represent my school. I really don't I don't want to represent my school badly. I want to have a good report on my school.
Yeah, there's no danger of you representing it badly. You're a very poised young lady and you're bringing a lot here. As I said, nobody loses on the Science Bowl. Just by being here, you've won. Having said that, I want you to get into this game in the second half here. Adriana, what do you want to do someday?
I want to be a marine biologist.
Yeah, and what school do you want to go to?
New York City College.
Yeah, you want to go home again, right? I can see that. All right, let's get back to the game. 65 Hillcrest Heights, 135 Foote. Last correct answer came from the red team. Lots of points to give away. All the plants are gone. All the animals are gone. Jeremiah, where to?
Oh, I think we're going to do Dateline Science for 5.
Dateline Science for 5 points. Oh, tell me it ain't so. The World Health Organization recently came out and said if you eat bacon and hot dogs and sausage, in fact, any kind of meat, you could increase your chances of getting this deadly disease. Hillcrest Heights.
Cancer.
Yes, ma'am. It was all over the news. Good. Go. Green.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, listen to me, please. The adjective femoral is perfect for this artery because the femoral artery is found where in your body? Okay, Carmen.
The arm?
Not the arm. Good try. Your femoral artery. The adjective femoral is perfect because it describes where that artery is found. What you think?
Stomach?
No. Where is the femur? The femur is a leg bone. Femoral, femur, leg. That's what the association was that I was hoping you would make. No points. Try again, Carmen.
Body system for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, the nits that nit pickers pick from the hair of children are actually the eggs of these insects. Foote.
Lice.
Lice. Oh boy, I got that in stereo. Absolutely right. Good answer. Go red.
We'll do Dateline Science for 10.
Dateline Science for 10 points. Teams, General Mills recently recalled thousands of boxes of Cheerios because they had claimed that there was none of this sticky kind of protein found in wheat that a lot of people are, Foote.
Honey.
Not honey, not honey. This sticky kind of protein found in wheat that a lot of people are allergic to was actually in the Cheerios when they claimed that it was not.
Gluten.
Gluten, absolutely right. I could hear Adriana and Rayvon saying it all the way over here. All right, good. 80-145, Carmen, advantage you.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. If you get a dental retainer made by Midas brackets, you have a very good reason to smile because now you have a mouth full of what? Precious metal. Hillcrest Heights.
Braces.
No. Foote. What kind of precious metal do you find in your mouth if you got retainers made by Midas?
Silver.
Not silver, gold. The Midas touch. Remember, he turned everything into gold. Okay. Good try. You were close. All right, try again. Green.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, on Halloween, one of these heavenly bodies that normally orbits between Mars and Jupiter came flying past Earth, and it looked like a human skull. What was that thing that flew past us that normally is found between Mars and Jupiter? All right, Hillcrest Heights.
An asteroid?
Yes, ma'am, exactly right. It had a skull-like look to it. Creepy. Go, green.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, if you're trying to see the planet Saturn, you can do it with the naked eye. But you need a telescope to see the rings around it. A telescope was actually invented by this man who first saw those rings back in 1610. Who was that inventor of the telescope, Hillcrest Heights?
Isaac Newton.
Ooh, good try. Not Isaac Newton. Who invented that telescope and back in 1610 saw those rings of Saturn for the first time? What'd you think? It was Galileo. Galileo. Galilei. All right, try again, green.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, every year cows belch millions of tons of methane gas, which is one of the greenhouse gases that is 20 times stronger than what more familiar gas that we associate with the greenhouse effect, making our Earth hotter. What other gas other than methane?
Oxygen.
Not oxygen. Good try. Hillcrest Heights, do you have a comeback for me?
Carbon dioxide.
That's the one. Carbon dioxide, CO2. All right, Hillcrest Heights, you're coming up. 145 to 110. We're getting a close game here. The green team's on a roll. Go Carmen.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Listen carefully. The stapedius muscle is the tiniest muscle in your body. It helps move the stapes, which is one of the tiniest bones in your middle ear. That stapes is also known as another kind of bone. It's named for the place where you put your foot if you're riding a horse. Forefoot.
Saddle?
Not the saddle. Good try. The place where you put your foot when you're riding a horse is the other name for the stapes bone because it looks like it. The stirrup. The stirrup. Go again, please. Green.
Science potpourri for 15.
Science potpourri for 15 points. Teams, if you saw the movie Jurassic World, there was a terrible dinosaur called Indominus Rex. And among the many strange features it's had, because it was bred that way, it had an opposable one of these digits that is normally found on only primates like ourselves and not on reptiles. What kind of opposable digit did that dinosaur have? I was showing you. The thumb. It had a thumb, an opposable thumb that normally reptiles do not have. All right, green. Go again. See, we're getting to the tougher ones now.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, astronomers recently called the comet Lovejoy that they found the happy hour comet, because every hour it generates over 100 gallons of this intoxicating liquid. Someone's got to ring in. Jeremiah? What are you going to say, Lawrence? What you got?
He said, venom.
Venom?
No. What kind of intoxicating liquid? Hillcrest Heights. Let astronomers. Go ahead.
May I pass to Rayvon?
Sure can.
Oil.
Not oil. Intoxicating. Alcohol. Alcohol is the word we're looking for there. Try again, green. Come on, let's go.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. All right, teams. So hopefully you know this one. A lot of students in this country cannot graduate from high school now unless they know how to do this first aid procedure for starting a stopped heart or getting people to breathe again. Hillcrest Heights.
CPR.
That's it. Good. Green.
Science potpourri for 20.
Okay. Well, don't argue among yourselves. Just focus on the next one. Green, 130 to 145. Carmen, go.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. All right. Let's see if you can count and know your alphabet, because if you are taking blood thinner drugs, don't eat leafy green vegetables because they will help you to clot because they contain this vitamin that is the 11th letter of the alphabet. Someone has to ring, Carmen.
O?
Nope.
K.
Jeremiah?
K.
K. Yep. Red. Go.
All right, we'll do, let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points, teams. Recently, a giant blimp got loose from here in Maryland and drifted up to Pennsylvania. It was held aloft by what gas that fills the balloons at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day? Carmen?
Helium.
Yes, ma'am. Good. 5. Go.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25, the big one in that category. Teams, artificial body parts like Captain Hook's hook and the candy cane leg on the gingerbread man are known as these. Jeremiah.
Amputated legs.
Not amputated. Oh, you're in the right ballpark there. What do you call those artificial limbs, Carmen, like Captain Hook's hook and that candy cane leg on the gingerbread man in Shrek?
Prosthetics.
That's what it is, the prosthetics. Yes, ma'am, go.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, mummies in Chile are beginning to turn to goo because of climate change. There's more moisture in the air now. That is known as this, Hillcrest Heights.
Humidity.
Yes, it is too humid down there. Go.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, we all know the minions from the Despicable Me movies. Some of them are cyclopean, some are binocular, depending on how many of these sense organs they have, Jeremiah.
Eyes.
Eyes, yeah, good, go.
Body. All right, body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25, big one in that category. Teams, score check, 174 Foote. Hillcrest Heights, 185. Almost finished here. This question is body systems for 25. Listen carefully. 1900 years ago, Mount Vesuvius erupted and covered the city of Pompeii with ash, freezing people as they stood. They've recently examined some of those bodies, and some of those people have absolutely perfect teeth. Meaning back then, what kind of dental specialty might have been around Fort Foote?
Fluoride.
Not fluoride, no. What kind of dental specialty might have been around because all those people, they had perfect teeth?
Calcium.
Orthodontists. Orthodontist was the right answer. The buzzer has sounded. That means our game is over. It looks like Hillcrest Heights has done it. We'll be right back.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
And welcome back. What a great time we had here today. All of these young people are winners. What great students they all are. Our final tally is Fort Foote 170, Hillcrest Heights. You guys really came back 185. Congratulations to Adriana and Carmen and Rayvon. They're not quite sure if they can smile yet or not. It's over. You can smile indeed. And Miss Rivera, congratulations. You will see you in the next round. I don't want to see you guys go. You brought so much energy to this game here. I waited 30 years to see you. Kylie and Jeremiah and Lawrence, congratulations to you. And look at all the alternates back there. Micah, Kennedy, Jamira, and Miss Holmes, congratulations. Thank you for being here today. Dr. Goldsmith, a very proud principal, and Miss Johnson. We didn't know this was going to happen. We're glad that it did. I hope you had a good time today, and we hope you had a good time. We'll see you next time on the Science Bowl. Bye-bye.